All right, we're keeping a close eye on the hotly contested Senate race in California today as 3 Democratic candidates and 1 Republican vie for the late Senator Dianne Feinstein's seat. 3 Democratic members of Congress, Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, and Barbara Lee, are facing off with the newcomer to politics, former Los Angeles Dodgers star Steve Garvey, who is running as a Republican in California's top 2 primary system. So that means the first and second place finishers will advance to the general election in November, regardless of their party affiliation. So I want to bring back our panel here, Mike, Tricia, Marcia, and joining us is our ABC News chief national correspondent Matt Gutman, who is reporting today from Burbank, California. So Matt, starting with you here, these 3 Democratic House members running for this seat, I mean, they vote together some 90% of the time, but this race has been pretty heated. So tell us about it.
This is not about the issues, Kana. This is about politics. Adam Schiff is the front runner, and he has said that he likes to run either unopposed or he likes to run scared. And right now he's doing a little bit of both, right? So his top contender is not the Republican Steve Garvey, who you just mentioned. It's actually Katie Porter, a colleague of his. And so what he's tried to do is essentially elevate Steve Garvey, that former Major League star, and make him a household name. Because if he is among the top 2, then it basically means it's a sure victory for Schiff in the general elections in November, because California votes Democratic by a margin of 2-1. So he wants to ensure that Katie Porter is not there. Now, that's what his supporters are saying. This is pure politics, but this is how Schiff himself has defended his actions and the millions of dollars in ads essentially attacking Garvey.
I'm distinguishing my record from my Democratic colleagues on issues of leadership, but I'm also not shying away from distinguishing my views on issues from Steve Garvey. There are a lot of important ideological differences between us, and he's just way too far to the right for California.
So the question is now, what happens to Katie Porter if she does not proceed to the next round? She's given up her seat as a congressperson in the 47th district to run in this race, and she has been someone to watch. She flipped the 47th district in 2018. The question is, what does she do now, and what happens to the rest of this race? Of course, it's not yet over. The votes have not been counted, Kana.
All right, what does the future hold for her, though? I agree, a big question. And so, Matt, look, we know a lot of people, when they look at California, they consider California, right, the crown jewel of Super Tuesday. But in terms of just this Senate race, talk about why it's such an important race overall.
And so much money has been spent on it. This is the most expensive race in the history of California, a place where there have been a lot of expensive races. And that's because, I guess it's the equivalent of getting tenure if you're a professor. If you win this seat, you're likely to have it for a long time unless scandal or illness or something else catastrophic interferes. Dianne Feinstein had it for 30 years. Adam Schiff, if he wins, could be the senator from California for a very long time, or whomever wins it. So it is definitely a choice Senate seat to have, and has a long runway, Kana.
All right, Matt Gutman, thank you so much. And Marcia, let's take it to you. You work for Senator Feinstein. Is it bittersweet a bit to see these Democrats, I mean, really going after each other here?
It really is. You know, Feinstein left a great void in the Senate. She was someone who really walked the walk. So this is a coveted Senate seat, and it should go to someone who deserves it the most. It does look like, I agree, that Adam Schiff has the lead here. He's been endorsed by Pelosi and many others. He's leading in fundraising, and looks like he really took off the gloves here.
And Tricia, to you, let's talk about Steve Garvey now leading in some polls. There's a history here in California of celebrities winning statewide offices. Talk about how this 10-time All-Star baseball player is doing in a state where Dems outpace Republicans 2-1.
Well, it's a jungle primary, so things are bound to get a little bit dirty. I do think the political implications, especially for Katie Porter, are pretty fascinating. That seat she's giving up in Congress, it's a good chance a Republican could take that over. Steve Garvey, I mean, I'm a Republican and a realist, and I think that our chances in November, if Garvey would be able to make it in the top 2, it'd be really tough. Republican hasn't won a statewide seat since Schwarzenegger won the governorship. So seeing it with eyes wide open, but I give Garvey complete props for throwing his hat in the ring.
And Mike, to you, you just landed in LA, right? So what is your take on this Senate race? Will these 2 Democrats be facing off in November? Or do you think that our celebrity baseball player here and our Republican would make it to the general?
Such a great question, Kata. Literally, as soon as I landed, everyone's been talking about this election today, either having to vote, the driver was talking about having to vote. So people are abuzz right now about today. I think what's interesting is that Adam Schiff, as you and Matt have talked about, has had strong fundraising totals. He's almost double the amount of fundraising than his closest competitor in terms of fundraising goals, Katie Porter. Combine that with name recognition, with fundraising strength, he is going to be tough to beat. But what I'm looking at, Kana, though, is the name recognition of Garvey. This is baseball. Spring training is just around the corner. I'm curious to see if he does place second over Katie Porter, how strong of a second place does he come in tonight? And then I think that will actually determine the strength of the Republican Party in a heavily Democratic state. So I think that's the number I'm looking for, is second place.
Right, and I'm glad that you pointed out the engaged voters here in California, Mike. And of course, we have to talk about the balance of the power in the Senate that we can see play out in terms of this vote. Mike, Tricia, Marcia, and Matt, our thanks to all of you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.